Wuhan has ended its 76-day lockdown following the outbreak of coronavirus in that city in January. Government managed to repatriate 122 South Africans from Wuhan a few weeks ago, but some stayed behind at ground zero. One of them is Mbali Gcabashe, a South African teacher based in Wuhan. She joins me via Skype. A very good morning to you. Why did you decide to stay?
Good morning to you and your viewers. We made a decision together with my children because we're looking at the risk factor. I mean, traveling was really proving to be a high-risk exercise, and also we were seeing the growing number of cases all over the world, and it was only a matter of time that we see the numbers grow in our own country. And so we decided that we wouldn't want to see ourselves, going from quarantine to quarantine, and at the moment we really were not lacking for anything in China. We had everything that we need, even though we could not move, but we could access the things that were basic needs for us.
So was it the right call? I mean, I should imagine it was pretty frightening.
It was pretty frightening. It wasn't an easy decision. I mean, you would imagine that most people would rather be with their families at this time, but just when you have children, you have to think beyond yourself and worry about them as well. And also just the discomfort of taking the children from a lockdown situation to another quarantine. And I mean, right now, South Africa is on lockdown again, so it really would have been taken a toll on them, whereas they are home right here. They have all the comforts that they need, which makes it a little bit easier for them.
It must be amazing, though, for you there. The lockdown there is now over. Talk to us about how that felt and what you're seeing on the streets now.
We really were laughing about it yesterday, that we never thought we'd be so happy to hear a hooter.
Yeah. Of all things.
We went from a buzzing city to a ghost town, and everything was dead quiet. There is a point where we could not even leave the building, let alone the community, the gated community we live in, but you could not leave your apartment just to go outside for air. So it really was amazing. When we saw the traffic yesterday, we were really so amazed. It was so exciting because we're starting to see a bit of life coming back into Wuhan again.
And what was the first thing that you did other than celebrate the sound of horns? Where did you go? What did you do?
Here's the thing about being on lockdown for 76 days. And also understanding that we are not exactly out of the woods because the virus is still lurking. So in as much as we know we are free to go outside, of course, within the limited, parameters that we have, because there are still guidelines. It's not just freedom. Everybody can roam the street as they please. But we really are cautious. And I remember I asked my daughter if she wanted to go to the park yesterday, and she said she would rather go in the evening when there are no people outside, because we also are still cautious that we would like to still keep our social distancing until we are at a point where we are sure that it's safe.
It would certainly feature agoraphobia if you had it, wouldn't it? Tell me something, the sort of lessons that you learned from something like that you can give to us, the importance of lockdown and your behavior during lockdown.
I think what I would really like to caution South Africans on is that they need to just move away from the mentality that they're doing this for the government. This is really about you, yourself, your family, individually. It's about the community. It's about our country. So if you do this lockdown as a favor to somebody, then you are doing yourself a disservice, because this really is about saving your personal life as much as it is about the government ensuring safety of the citizens. So what I really learned from Chinese people is the loyalty to their country first and to their families, and also, taking responsibility for themselves, and also making sure that you take responsibility as neighbors, because here, if you violate the rules of the quarantine, it will be your neighbors that will report you. People take this that serious. So I think it's very important to remember that it is not a favor for somebody else. You are doing this for yourself. And also that if we think that the lockdown doesn't do anything, I think just look at the numbers in South Africa. In the very beginning, I was also looking at them. They were really rising a bit too fast. And with the lockdown, yes, it hasn't happened for that long, but you can see the numbers are not, growing as fast as they were in the very beginning. So they must really not think that there is no effect. The lockdown has a very big impact. I mean, it really is important that South Africans adhere to the lockdown rules.
Wise and beautiful words, Mbali, and we're going to try listen to you. Thank you very much for sharing your experience with us.